The living room, bed, the kitchen, um, bathroom, bedroom. So this and another bedroom over there. And let's show you the outside. Hi, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. If you've been with us before, you're true here, welcome back. If you just saw the title or decided to click on, welcome, and make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Today's video, like the title said, we went to do some RVing. And if you know my channel, we like to try different things when we travel. Well, this one was like no other. We rented an RV. I'm telling you the good, the bad, and the ugly of RVing. I always watched the van lifers and things like that, and I was really inspired to do it. So we finally got a chance to do it, and I'm going to explain to you how it went. So if you want to hear how it went, how much we spent, and what all went down, stay tuned. All right. Usually my story times give you a little backstory, but this is not really a story time. This is a telling you how it went type of vibe. Okay, I'm going to put clips in of the RV, and we used Outdoorsy. If you had ever heard of Outdoorsy, it is a rental company, sort of like an Airbnb for RVs. I say RVs. And so you can go on the site and you see the type of RV you need, what you like. And for us, we were kind of lucky. My brother has a CDL license. So, I mean, but you don't need it to drive an RV. You do not need a CDL, but he actually had one, so hey, it worked out. For us, we only needed to sit, driving wise, we only needed to drive 6 of us. But we got one that was big enough to sleep 8 people, which everybody wasn't sleeping in it. It was only 4 of us that slept in it, so we had plenty of room. The kitchen area, we didn't get to use all the amenities. We didn't cook. We did camp out, and I'm going to explain that to you, but we didn't cook. We didn't, we did use the refrigerator, things like that. We used the microwave, but as far as cooking, we didn't cook in it. And we only took it for 2 days. Now, let me explain to you how it went. The day of the travel day, you're supposed to pick up your RV. It's pretty much like a check-in 3 o'clock. But unfortunately, we needed to be on the road early. So I contacted the host and to find out if it was okay if we pick up early. And she was ecstatic, very enthusiastic. She was phenomenal. She was like, sure, whatever it needs, because we're actually going the following weekend. So, to the same location pretty much y'all going to. So, yeah, she was like, just come pick it up and enjoy. So, with us never driving an RV, there's a lot of things you need to know about RVing. Now, I cheated. I watch a lot of YouTubers to find out what was going on, what we needed to do, what we not needed to do. So I found out about, make sure you stack things away from everything. So when you move in, they don't move as much and things like that. But as far as what you need to put in the RV, yeah, I had no clue. But luckily she did, because she had a lot of things that was in the RV, just like an Airbnb, in the RV that we might have needed. So the day of travel, everybody else was only worried about what they were packing. I had to think about what else we might need on the road, things like that. You want to stack up your refrigerators if you're going off-road, like if you're not going to be in the city, but we were going to be in the city. We actually stayed at the U.S. Space Center in Huntsville, Alabama. Now, everybody was like, oh, wow, y'all get to stay there. I didn't even realize that it was a thing, but it's a thing to actually stay at the Space Center. So we actually stayed at the Space Center, really inexpensive. If you were a traveler that stay on the road, try the U.S. Space Center. It was nice. And then I got to pick out what spot I wanted to be at, which I wanted to pick closer to the showers and the bathrooms, things like that. Even though our RV came with a full shower and a bathroom and everything, I still wanted to have the option, you know, to use the facilities at the property, which we did, and they were nice and clean and all that, which I was kind of nervous about. I don't do the camping. I like to glamp, not camp, okay? But it was nice. So, on the road, once that morning, once we packed up and headed to get on the road, me and my husband went to pick up the RV. When we went to pick up the RV, we got a walkthrough from the husband and wife, and they showed us all the amenities and everything that we needed to know about the RV. Now, my husband took a quick class with her husband on the whole opening up the RV, sewer lines, water lines, all that. And I think that class probably took 10 minutes. And when I tell you this man was a pro when he was done, he was a pro. He knew everything, all the buttons, all the whistles, everything. If I had to take that class, we would have had to take some notes. We would have had to sit there for a little while. We would have had to try it out because, yeah, I had to see it before I do it. But him, he took it in 10 minutes, and I must say, we made it, and we made it back with no harms, no foul, okay? Shout out to that man, because it couldn't have been me, okay? Okay. He drive big vessels for a living, so maybe that helped, but it was too many bells and whistles for me, okay? I couldn't do it. But, you know, try Outdoorsy, y'all. I must say, make sure you have somebody that's really good with the bells and the whistles, because I wasn't, so I didn't even want to go to the class. I didn't even listen. I mean, I'm surprised he didn't tell me, come listen to hear what he has to say so we can have two ears and, you know, other people listening to it or whatever. He didn't. He just went and he took the little overview with her husband while me and her looked at what was all pretty and cute and, you know, how can I use the mirror and things like that. That wasn't even important. But yes, so that's how we did when we got the vehicle. So once we got the vehicle, I followed him home so we could finish packing up from the house. And we had to go and pick up another group of people. And my brother was actually meeting us at the house. So they were putting all the stuff in the refrigerator and our luggage and everything in before we went to pick up the second group of people. So once we got into the vehicle, us three, well, four, I had my father, we headed to go pick up the other two people that was also coming with us. So we went to pick them up, and when we picked them up, they got in, all they had was luggage and a few things to put in the refrigerator, and we did that. So really, we didn't have a lot of laying around things. However, we didn't really know how to, one of the people that was in the van, they wanted to play on the TV, but we didn't have all that figured out. Plus, we wanted to get on the highway because we had already lost an hour. And the reason we lost an hour is because when we got back to the house, we had to figure out, you know, what was going in the refrigerator, what was not going in the refrigerator, things like that. So we had lost an hour when we wanted to get on the road. So we went ahead and we hopped on the road. When we hopped on the road, the RV was already full, so we was good with that, with gas. So we hopped on the road. As we hopped on the road and headed to Huntsville, Alabama, we didn't have any harms or fouls. We stopped one time at a rest stop. And it was because the driver wanted to get out and stretch his legs and things like that. Because my brother was the only one driving. He wanted to drive the whole way. We were cool with it. So he hopped out, and then we got back on the road and we headed back. Everybody was comfortable with using the restrooms and things like that in the RV. Then we decided to do one last stop before we hit into Huntsville, and that was to fill up the vehicle one more time. Everybody wanted to get something to eat because the ride was like 7 hours. So everybody wanted to stop and get something to eat, and we did that. And then we went ahead and we headed back on the road. So as we headed back on the road, we had no harms, no fouls. We dropped everybody off where they were going, and we headed to the RV park. We got to the RV park, which was the U.S. Space Center, and we hooked everything up for the night, and everybody was dead dog tired. So we didn't get to like sightseeing and everything. It was dark at this point. So once we did all that, everybody was like, just went to sleep. So that's what we did. Everybody went to sleep, and we decided the next morning that we were actually there for a birthday party. We were surprising my uncle for his 78th birthday. So we decided that morning we did not want to move the RV. Like, the RV was cool. The RV was chilling, chillaxing. We got out that morning. Me and my husband got up early that morning. We got to sit outside of the RV underneath the little awning. It was so beautiful. It was so peaceful. I mean, everything was so quiet. It was so pretty. And we just reflected on, is this what we want to do? Like, we love it. Like, we love to travel as it is, but the RV life was beautiful. Like, it was so relaxing, so serene. So we did that, and then we decided about an hour or so later that maybe we should get a rental car instead of trying to move the RV while it's chillaxing. So went ahead, got a rental car, and we went to do our sightseeing. Went to the party, the party and everything, and had a great day. And then we came back that evening. We stopped, got dinner, came back that evening, and pretty much chillaxed. The next morning, me and my husband got up early with the rental car. We got breakfast. We all pretty much ate out on a campsite. It was so nice, so peaceful. It was so lovely. So we stayed out there, did that, and then after that, the next day, after we dropped the rental car off and got in the RV, packed up everything. And when I tell you it was smooth sailing, Outdoorsy made it really easy, but not with just Outdoorsy. The host makes everything real easy. She gave me her personal information to contact her. We couldn't get her through Outdoorsy if we had any questions. And literally, I called her just to ask her a dumb question, and it wasn't dumb to her because she answered it right away, and I don't even remember what it was. That's how dumb it was. But yeah, so the experience was amazing. The time, and when you look for RVs, there's a few things you should always look for to see how much mileage is, because some RVs are more expensive than other RVs. I had another RV that I had booked that, but the host, we kept having, every time I would go to check, it would be the time out for them to approve it or whatever. So I couldn't, get to them. But luckily I didn't, because they didn't have any free miles. And with the one that I got, and I didn't even check, she, as soon as I put my reservation in, she approved it right away. So I was able to book it and everything with her, and she had unlimited mileage on hers. She was very accommodating. Well, the other person, I think everything happens for a reason. Theirs was like $1.55 and a mile or something like that. And I think you got 100 miles free or something like that. But it just happened, and I was just gung-ho into having them, but I just couldn't get through to them. Every time they would approve it, it would be a couple of days later. Every time I go back to check, it had already, so everything happens for a reason. This one, the mileage worked out for us. The timing worked out for us. They were very accommodating. So make sure you look for that when you look for your RV. Make sure that the prices that you're looking for is suitable for you, because there's different places, and one was maybe a mile away, and the other one that we got was maybe 1.5 miles away from me. So they were so accommodating, so close. So yeah, so if you want to book an RV, try Outdoorsy. It was a great experience for us. And if you don't know, we're about to go on our next trip, getting really close to Costa Rica. So stay tuned for that story time. But I do have another story time in the meantime. I know I've been a little offbeat, but a lot of things has been going on. So stay tuned for our next story time on our last vacation that we took. Stay tuned.